So today I'm going to show you how to get your warning chimes, USB, and auxiliary imports onto your 2006 through 2009 Pontiac G6. I have a 2006 Pontiac G6. As you can tell, I have the 2009 cluster swapped in, the button so I can control it. I'll turn the car on for you. Hear the warning chimes now back. I can cycle through it, get all my little information, go through, be able to reset oil life, and so on. But I also have a 2010 G6 radio with the USB. As you can tell, I have the songs from my phone playing on there, and auxiliary input. And then I have the 2010 climate control cluster. So the climate control cluster, it's pretty much just plug and play. It'll go right in. The radio takes a little bit more effort, and I'll go ahead and show you that in just a second. So as an additional piece that I didn't quite really show you guys, so once the radio is in, as you can see, it's connected to my phone at the moment again. USB heads up to my phone, can't really show you there. Normally I try to show you how it does. Right now I don't have any other way to record it, but CD auxiliary, CD auxiliary will switch to USB as well. Band will take it to the radio, AM, FM. So we can go through, I can hit the volume up button, volume up will go, volume down. This, although it's for the 6 disc, I didn't change the button here yet, it actually will mute the radio. Volume, or the 2 buttons, if you're in the USB, it'll switch up and down between your playlist. It only works on Apple products because in 2010 they really weren't ready for Android Auto yet, and this is just kind of a really basic version of Apple CarPlay. For the most part, it's, obviously it's factory, it doesn't have Bluetooth in this specific version, though if you have a 2009 that has OnStar, you could buy the OnStar module with Bluetooth in it. And that will allow you to have Bluetooth connectivity through your car. It goes through, you'll have the, OnStar mirror here, and there will be a speaker here, and it just kind of integrates it, allow you to connect your phone to it. It'll be just like factory Bluetooth, car turns on, connect to your phone, turn off, Bluetooth turns off. Pretty straightforward. And that's really about it. And I'll also put a link in the description of how-to for the gauge cluster, and then the wiring buttons for here. That was also a pretty straightforward, kind of project. So I went ahead and took the dash apart a little bit. For those of you who don't know, right here, it just kind of pulls out. You got a screw right down here, just a little 10mm screw, nothing too bad to handle. Try to get it in focus. You got 2 more you'll want to remove. There's one right up here, and there's one right down here in the glove part. If you push these 2 ends together, the door will fall down. It's a lot easier to get to. You just pull down, there's a little clip, and then this will just slide right on out. You got 6 screws in total, 2 for the radio, 4 for the radio, 1 for the climate control. You go ahead, you pull the climate control out first as it holds the radio in, and the radio is free to move. Leave that there for now. The climate control cluster, so I can get a little bit more in. 2 clips. These are exactly the same as your G6. You can just unclip, put it in. You can find the cluster junkyard online. I found mine at the junkyard out of a G6. It works pretty well. Everything works. The only problem is the AC will occasionally stick after not being used for a while, but that's just through use. It gets nice and pushy just like the rest of the buttons. The radio I ordered online. I'll put a link in the description for that. It's a pretty simple one to get. Mine was a brand new. It's about a 50-50 shot where you get a brand new or remanufactured radio. Both are great in my opinion. As the USB and auxiliary input. Go back through. This is where it gets a little interesting on how I design my wiring. So here it is a different radio plug-in. So if you wanted to use your FM radio, you need to get an adapter. I got one. It plugs into the old radio harness, plugs in. Wasn't quite an exact fit, so I had to kind of make it work. But there are ones you could buy. I was just being cheap and didn't want to pay for it. And then just clips right in. Radio harnesses, I got these from a junkyard out of a 2009 Chevy Malibu. It's all the same. It has the same radio, just minus the USB ports, so the plugs are the same. We buy those, they clip in. And then here, I know it's not the most beautiful thing ever, but I pushed the pins out of the old radio harness, so it just had the little metal clips. I'll just put a picture right up here for it in a second. And then I shoved the wire from the radio that I cut, the harness, into it and crimped it down, and then just electrical taped on it. For the most part, the wires match up, green to green, blue to blue, and so on and so forth. The extra wires here that I'm not using is for XM radio. My G6 didn't have it. Those, if yours does, the wires should for the most part match up. I believe there was only one set of wires in here that wasn't an exact fit. Let me try to find it for you guys. Right here. These two were the only ones that weren't an exact color match, but it's, you know, pretty simple. If you don't know, this is going to be a brown wire to, I want to say a light blue. It's for a speaker wire. So as you can see, they kind of twist up back here. That's how you know they're speaker wires. This should be the rear left, I believe. When you put it in, if it doesn't sound like your audio is right, you could switch the two wires around. Sometimes that makes the difference up here, or you can go back to the rear radio and just pop the pins out and switch them around. That's what I did. It's an easy fix, wasn't too big of a deal. And then, you know, obviously we got the hazards relay, but that's really about it. And once you do that, because 2010, they reused the same system because the chimes were integrated into the cluster. When you put them together, the data wire, which is hiding somewhere in here, should be this green one is the data wire, if I remember correctly. It transmits between the cluster and the radio, so when you open your door or turn the car on, which I'll show you in a second again, you get the little chimes to go off again. Sorry about that, that just shows the radio works. You get the chimes going back again, because the chimes are actually integrated through the radio instead of the cluster net in 2010. If you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to me. It was, overall, I think it took me about a half hour to do the job. You know, climate control was a piece of cake, right? Plug and play. If you have a 2009.5 or a 2010 G6 that doesn't have the USB, you don't have to worry about doing this part right here. You could just unplug the old radio and purchase the new one in the link I put in the description. And it'll just plug, play. There's no reason to go to the dealership to program it. When you plug it into your car, the car will program it for you. Just for that specific radio. It's when you buy a brand new radio and plug it in, it doesn't have the VIN programmed to it yet. If you find one in the junkyard, it's going to be about the same price as the radio I have online that's new. Dealerships, they'll range, sometimes they'll do it for free. Other times it'll be $60 to $80 to get your radio programmed in. Online, I think this total cost to have it shipped to my house was $72 when I purchased it. And that's a pretty decent deal if you ask me. So anyway, thanks for stopping out and watching. If you have any questions, again, just put it down in the comments. I'll be more than glad to help you out. Have a great day.